Hi, everybody. This is Ryan with United Country. Today we're sitting down with Cressa, a recent client that has moved to Bocas, and we're going to sit down with her and we're going to figure out exactly what her story is with the 6 questions to move to Panama. So, question number 1.
All right.
Basically, where are you from? Why did you end up choosing Bocas, and how did all this come to be? Like, why did you want to make a decision or a change, or how did all that come about?
Great question. Moved here from Kansas in the United States. We'd always known that we wanted to retire somewhere in Central South America. And we traveled all over the world and thought ultimately that we would end up in Costa Rica. And some things transpired, and we started looking at our finances and just said, hey, maybe it doesn't make sense to continue to work like this for another 10 years when you factor in your taxes and your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes and all the things. It just seemed like it was an opportune time to make the move. And that's what brought us here. Panama specifically, was that part of your question?
So question number 2 is how did you settle on Panama? So most people will have to obviously lead into that, but how did that come about? Like, all of the travel around the world, why Panama?
So, several years ago, since Costa Rica was the country we thought we had wanted to retire to, we visited and thought this is going to be our forever home. And it just wasn't what we expected. And so here we were thinking we built this great plan and dreams of this living in this wonderful country. And now we were kind of disappointed. And so we were talking with a gentleman on a tour. And I just said to him, you live in paradise. Where do you vacation? And he said Panama. And the next year we came to Panama to check it out.
Oh, all right, good. Well, then the obvious next question to that is if that's the story or reason behind Panama, how Bocas? Why Bocas del Toro? How did that?
So interestingly enough, when we were first in Panama City back in 2017, we met a young man who was doing tours in Casco Viejo, and we ended up becoming friends and then helping him build his business there. And he always told us about Bocas, and you got to go to Bocas. And one time when you come back, you got to go to Bocas. And every time we came back, we'll be like, oh, we'll go to Bocas next time. And so a little over a year ago, I said, we're going to go, and this time we're going to go to Bocas. We're not going to, go to the different areas. We felt like we'd been to enough parts of the country that this was our last stop. So last September, we came to Bocas and absolutely fell in love with it. And I said right when we stepped off the plane and hopped into the water taxi that this is it.
I think my wife remembers that. she was very excited with that. Well, then I guess question number 4 would be how was that process? Like, what a lot of our clients will ask, like, do you work remotely? I mean, COVID has changed a lot of things, but why? How were you able to both financially and logistically do this?
Right. Fortunate. I worked really hard in the States for a lot of years. And I was able to have a very nice savings, and also with the sale of our home in Kansas, it afforded us an opportunity to come here where the cost of living is drastically different, and to be able to purchase a beautiful property outright and not have to have all of the mortgage components and all of the other pieces that come along with it. So it just made sense with what we knew we had. We knew what our budget was. We worked very closely with you guys to make sure that we could find what was going to be a right fit. And then we built the business component into it because we have some casitas that allow me to have an income here. And
you hit the ground running here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you can't see it, but we're surrounded by a construction site. You're probably hearing some of the noise. She's, since they've moved, they're adding and building up a real nice rental business going here. So, but question number 5 is what's been the best part about Bocas or the move in general, or however you want to answer that?
I think honestly, the best part that I have found it is community. People here are incredibly kind. You can figure out where things are in town. I've got wonderful new foods and new places that I've got to try and explore. And so every day is something different, something unique, and it's super peaceful. And so the whole hustle and bustle and way of life that I had before, I'm busy here, but it's a different kind of busy, and it's a welcome busy. And I don't think, I know I couldn't say that when I was where I was in the States. It just was, this is a whole different environment.
Yeah. Well, then that'll lead to the question number 6, which is maybe the harder question to answer, or the question that maybe a lot of people don't ask you. What would be, maybe the biggest challenge or the biggest surprise, or is there anything you regret about this, or what's been a struggle? What's been a shock?
So being an American, and a privileged American, I guess, a lot of the things that I had as my creature comforts, and as I've gotten older, that I didn't have. And so it was thinking, okay, well, how can I do this? And my first, washer that I got here, was what I call myself Laura Ingalls Wilder. It just felt like
washing machine.
Yeah. It was sort of a washing machine. Yeah. And so it was those little things where
spin.
And it just was, and I was like, I've never hung laundry. I've never done this, and I'm using a spigot, and it was a whole thing. And so it was learning to let go of some of that, but then also finding resources, reaching out to people and saying, hey, here's some things. What can I do? And so, my most favorite thing in my house now is my dishwasher. And I know that sounds crazy, but it was that one little creature comfort that made me feel like it was perfect and everything. But you have to research. You have to know that not everything that you're used to in the States in particular is, here. And you have to be willing to, step out of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to go and find and do, and you also have to be willing to adapt, because that's a reality. And then, a fault of mine, I had studied Spanish for about a year, but I'm terrible at it. I'm getting better. I'm learning. I'm using it more. I can understand it much better, but that is something I wish I had done differently, is have a stronger, Spanish background when I got here, because it can be a barrier.
Yeah.
But that's on me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we came here. No, I didn't know any Spanish. I barely can do it now. So, I mean, it's this community in Boca specifically, you've been able to do everything.
Absolutely. Yes. The gentlemen who are working with me now, they don't speak English, and we've worked very closely on projects together.
She can edit that.
She could. That could be better. Okay. Can you start over?
Yes. Exactly. Clip.
Yep. It's just naturally.
Yeah. It's just, it is. It's just, we are worth. So, question number 1, if we can. Cleaner?
I have no idea.
Hi everybody, this is Ryan from Bocas del Toro. Hi everybody, this is Ryan from United Country in Bocas del Toro. Today, what? Quit laughing, you're making it worse. God, I gotta do it again.
Now I'm blocked. What was my question again?
That will make people laugh.
Yeah, okay.